Coffee with CBS LA, sponsored by Covered California, for the love of Californians.
Good morning. We are at Palisades Garden Cafe, where we've been all morning long, meeting people like Fay Vahdani. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Pleasure.
So, you have such a story. I want to start with the fact that you and your husband were able to save your home, but it was a treacherous fight.
Yes, definitely. And actually, we saved our home on Wednesday evening, which we could see it from our camera at the restaurant. We were sitting at the restaurant. We saw that the front of the house is on fire. So I told my husband, let's go. And we went to 3 stop sign checkpoints. They would not allow us. And at the last one of the guy, when he saw how hysterically I was crying, and he asked me for my driver's license, and I passed it on to him, and he said, go. So we ended up getting to the Palisades, and we opened the hose, no water. Luckily, we had a big fountains in front of the house, and my husband had a pump. So he started pumping the water and grabbing the electrical saw, cutting all the bushes on the fire, and we basically contained the fire in our house. And I remember seeing a fire agent and begging them to come. I went after them, and they came, looked at the fire, and they walked away. At that point, I was so upset, but I didn't know that the poor firefighters didn't have water in their engine, and they didn't tell us either. So it was, I've took so many videos, but never had the courage of watching it again. It's just there. And today, I woke up, and it was, my heart was heavy, and it was a very, very emotional day for, I'm sure, all Pasadenians.
Yeah, it's been an interesting day. I think hearts are heavy. I think people are also, remembering just how hard it's been over the last year. You were telling me, even though you were able to save your home, you're one of those special people who help hospice patients, and you lost a hospice patient during the fire.
Yes. The day of the fire, when we heard the siren, it was not normal. So I asked all my staff to please make sure, call all the patients that we know for a fact that they don't have anyone, they live alone in the house, and bring them to the office. So we tried to make the office as a center, so then we would call the family members to come and pick them up, which we did. We were able to bring like 7 patients to the office, and then we have them to come and being taken by the family members. But unfortunately, one patient, we knew she was alone, and Rosali, we called her 3 times. One of our case managers, Brian, called her 3 times, and please come, we want to come and get you. We know you're alone. She did not have anybody in Los Angeles. And she kept saying, no, I have a dog, 3 birds, 1 parrot, 1 turtle. And we said, we'll bring them all. We will find you a place to go. She said, no, I refuse to go, and I'm okay. I'll let you know when I need help. So we ended up telling the firefighters when we're leaving Palisades, actually, that afternoon, that please, this lady's home alone. Unfortunately, the day after, they found their body. And it was... I had the privilege of seeing her during the holiday when I stopped by with a basket of cookies. She was so vibrant, kind, very, very sweet lady, and her smiles with me, and it's a burden. And since fire, we lost 3 patients because they left their home and they were not happy at the facilities.
Well, Fay, you're such a special person. Thank you for all that you've done for these people, and I'm so glad you still have your home, but I know there's challenges still, and absolutely.
Our story. I really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you. And we thank so many people. It's not just Fay. We've heard from so many people still reliving the trauma of that day, but also glad to be amongst other people within the community here at the Garden Cafe, which Fay's part of the Chamber of Commerce as well, and just is thrilled to see so many people here, and says this is what the Palisades is really about, is community.
Coffee with CBS LA, sponsored by Covered California, for the love of Californians.
We have been at Lavender and Honey Espresso Bar here in Pasadena all morning long as we mark 1 year since the devastating Eaton and Palisades fires. And this is our Coffee with CBS LA segment where we have been talking to community members about what they've been through. But we also want to talk to our Kara Finnstrom, because you not only were covering the stories of people being affected by this, you were personally affected, which I know the strength it took for you to deal with that personally and focus on other people's stories. So I first want to know how you are doing.
We were fortunate in that our home was damaged but not destroyed. Just about 2 months ago, we did move back. We're living in part of the house as they continue to do some remediation. They cleared it of the lead dust, which was one of the biggest concerns. There was a lot of lead. We were just about a block away from where that fire started. Right. But, you know, what has been really interesting for me is just seeing my neighbors as they have continued to grow stronger and stronger each day. We have some video of some of the stories we did this year, and one of them, we visited Victoria Knapp. Many people know her as the town council chair. She has been a tireless worker for change this past year, but she also lost her home. And shortly after she got all the debris cleared away, once she got the plans approved, she did a commemoration at her home, which was for a groundbreaking, the start of a new, chapter in her life. And that's one of the things we've seen this year. And that is, just kind of that daunting loss, recognizing that, but also trying to move forward. We also met the Wood family, 3 generations that lost homes, and they have really joined together. They wanted Grandma and Grandpa to come home first, so they worked with SGV Habitat and will soon be, I spoke with them last night, finishing a home for Grandma and Grandpa.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. This was such a family community that you do have many families where multiple people in the family lost homes at the same time. So you don't even have someone to go stay with. I know there's many complications, as we've heard from people this morning, and they recover. Let's talk about businesses. You did a lot of work covering businesses affected by this and how they're doing.
Yeah, Mariposa Junction, we have some video of that area. That was one of the most recent areas to come back, a string of businesses along one street up near Mariposa and Lake. And those businesses came back together, which was amazing because they're able to navigate some of the unique challenges they're facing. All of these homes are gone, so their customer base is gone. But it's important to have places to eat and places to go buy clothing and just to have that sense of normalcy for those of us who are back. Right. I can't tell them how much we appreciate having them here. And it's necessary for the rebuilding process to continue. So they've continued to face different challenges. We appreciate everyone from outside the area that is coming in and helping them stay afloat as the community changes.
Absolutely. The community came together for a run this weekend, and I know you took part. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I went out with my kids, and also some members of our own CBS LA family came out in a show of support. It was just, we've seen so many of these gatherings. I think today's hard for a lot of people because we know how much is still ahead of us. But when we have these moments where we get together, support each other, there were people that lined the streets. My sweet husband was among them with, cheering us all on as we ran through those streets. That was actually part of my regular jogging route, but I had not been back out there since the fires. So it was emotional for me just to get out there and run it. And, there's a lot of firsts for us, and there will continue to be a lot of firsts for us as we come back.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing your personal journey. You have been a beacon of strength for all of us at the station, knowing that you're dealing with this personally, but also you have put the community first every single time you've gone on TV and told their stories while you had to go home and navigate your own loss. So thank you so much, Kara, and glad to hear the progress you've made.
Coffee with CBS LA, sponsored by Covered California, for the love of Californians.
Welcome to CBS LA on this Wednesday, January 7th. I am Sheba Turk, and we are marking 1 year since the devastating Eaton and Palisades fires. I'm here at Lavender and Honey Espresso Bar in Pasadena, where our team has been out here talking with community members. And really, it's been overwhelming to hear what these people have been through in the last year. And many people have seen progress. A lot of people haven't. But what I think is important to remember on this day is what they've been through can never be forgotten. And that's why we are here to remember to mark that moment this morning and share what they still have to fight for and the positivity and hope they still have for their community. And Jamie is in Palisades this morning doing the same thing, seeing where the community is now.
Well, and I have an important interview just about that, Sheba, so thank you for bringing that up. I'm with County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath, and Sheba was just talking about from the Eaton Fire Zone how there are people still in the thick of this trying to, even at the 1-year mark, move forward.
No, that's absolutely right. We know whether it's in the Eaton area or here in the Palisades, and in the Palisades fire burn area, we have 3 jurisdictions. We have the City of Los Angeles, we have the unincorporated communities of Sunset Mesa and Topanga, we have the City of Malibu. There are so many communities who are hurting, who are going through a wave of emotion today, and so that's why we're out here to be with them and to support.
You and I were talking about, you're going through a wave of emotions today. You have to hear from so many constituents come to you. They're either hopeful or they're angry, they're sad. It's such a mixture. How are you dealing with today?
Well, you just have to show up and listen. Every feeling that someone is having is part of their processing, as part of their healing journey. And you have to let people be angry in order for them to get to a hopeful place. You have to let people ask the questions that are burning inside of them and get them real answers. And until all of that happens, people are going to be stuck. And I think that's why people are feeling the anger that they're feeling. They can't move through. Every time there's a new something that comes out, it just reopens those wounds. We have to help people heal.
And anger is a part of grief, and that's really what this is.
Yes, people have to process all of the emotions. And, for people in positions like mine, we can't be afraid of that. People are angry. It is valid. It is real. We have to show up and meet people where they are and help them know that no matter how they're feeling, we're not going anywhere. We're going to be by their side. We're never going to leave them alone. This is what, if we're doing this for the right reasons, this is what we're called to do. We're called to help people at a time like this.
We're sitting here at the Palisades Garden Cafe. It's packed. It's been packed all morning. What does that say to you about this community?
Well, this is the strength of the Palisades. Everybody knows that, you would come to a place like this, you'd see your friends, you'd check in on the day. It was almost a part of people's morning routines as much as reading a newspaper or checking your email in the morning.
Are you reading a newspaper?
I do sometimes, maybe on my phone. But I just think like that morning ritual, that community, that was part of who you are as a Palisadian. And, with people dispersed everywhere, to not have that sense of community, to not be able to be physically together is harder each and every day that people don't have that, because that's as much a part of your family as the people who are in your home. And so, to see this, especially on a day like this where people need each other more than ever, is really, really important.
I even watched you, though. You saw someone you knew, you gave them a hug, and you both said, I'm sorry it's under these circumstances.
No, it is. I mean, this is not the reason you want to see somebody, at your favorite place to show up for coffee. But it also is a way that people can connect. We can talk about, when we saw each other a year ago, what we were feeling and how we were moving through that space. And, there's a lot of work that's been done, and I commend the people who have invested themselves to help people recover and heal. But we know that there's a lot more work to do, and we got to be honest with ourselves about that and do better.
Well, even sitting here, this coffee shop was able to reopen, but you look around outside and there is just so much work to be done. What message do you have for people of the Palisades and other communities impacted?
Well, we have a plan through the Blue Ribbon Commission that was in partnership with UCLA, and a lot of experts who sort of called what we're now experiencing. They called it months ago, and they gave us a plan for how to move through it and do better by our residents in every sense and in every community. This isn't just for the fire burn areas. This is for all of Los Angeles County. So what needs to happen is leaders need to set aside their egos and know that people are looking to us to work hard, to do the things that we did to make debris removal happen quickly. Every layer of government worked together, and we got it done. We did it in record time, and it let people know when government works together, they can actually trust us to get it done. When we're fighting with each other, it doesn't work. And what we need right now is the federal government to invest in our area the same way they invest in every other disaster area that's happened in the country, in the history of our country. And we also need local layers of government to work together. That way we can leverage scale like we did with debris removal. We have a plan on how to do it. It's time for us to just focus on the work.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to work, as I know you've been stopped a million times this morning and have a lot more people to meet with. So, Lindsay, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it. I want to go to Sheba Turk now in the Eaton Fire Zone. Sheba?
Jamie, we do want to talk about all the impacts of this fire, which is why I love that we're speaking with so many different people this morning. Adam Burke is the president and CEO of the LA Tourism and Convention Board, and he's joining us now to talk about how the wildfires impacted tourism here in LA. What did you see immediately after the fires, Adam?
Thanks, Sheba. Well, I mean, first of all, as Angelenos, I think we all know so many people who suffered devastating loss last year. So we're just deeply grateful for the opportunity to remind people that that work is ongoing and to play a role in it. As context, I think people need to remember that tourism is actually one of the largest economic drivers for our entire community. Right now, there are over 540,000 Angelenos who earn their living in tourism-related careers. And despite the wildfires last year, visitors to LA contributed over $40 billion to our local business community. So any significant business disruption for tourism actually has significant economic impacts for the entire region. What we found immediately after the wildfires is the biggest thing we were fighting was major misperceptions. And part of that was in the 90 to 120 days right after the wildfires, the global media was not telling the story correctly. And while it was absolutely catastrophic for those communities in Pasadena, the Palisades, Malibu, we saw a study from Visit California that said the average American traveler believed that 41% of the region was damaged by the fires. Now again, catastrophic for those communities that were directly affected, but it's actually less than 2% of the region. And so what would have made it exponentially worse is if visitors stayed away because of it. So we worked overtime with the global media, the travel trade, consumers to let them know that the single best way they could support recovery in LA was to continue coming. We needed them to come for leisure, for events, for business. And I'm really pleased to share that ever since then, since the summer, we've seen steady recovery from the fires.
That's really good to hear. I think we all were trying to counter that narrative for people outside of LA going, oh my goodness, are you okay? Well, yeah, it's very far from me, but it is still impacting people that are very close to us. So what are you telling people now, a year later, that I think they get the message that it's okay to come?
I think not only it's okay to come, but this is going to be one of the most exciting years in LA's history. I think, when we think about the power of tourism to help drive the recovery process, look at the lineup of things we have coming this year. We have not one, but 3 world-class global sporting events. We're going to be hosting the NBA All-Star Weekend in Intuit Dome, the U.S. Women's Open at Riviera Country Club, and 8 World Cup matches at SoFi Stadium. We're going to be welcoming 3 amazing new arts and cultural attractions, the Yuccas Museum of Narrative Art, Destination Crenshaw, and the David Geffen Galleries at LACMA, plus amazing new attractions like Universal Studios, Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. We're going to be leveraging every one of those milestone moments to let travelers around the world know that this is the time to come to LA, because that's going to help accelerate the pace of recovery.
Amazing. And I know you guys have different tactics to do that. One is called the Kind Traveler Program. Tell me about that program.
One of the things we've done is try to use our own programming to really drive direct relief for those in need. Kind Traveler is a program where we have over a dozen local hotels where they're collecting $1 per night for every visitor staying in those hotels. And when we launched that program in the fall, we've been able to generate over $200,000 in additional relief funding. We also used Dine LA, our culinary programming, last spring. We wanted to be really sensitive, Sheba, to the local community and say, did they really want us to do Dine LA just 2 weeks after the fires? Right. And the restaurant community was a resounding yes, because they desperately need that program to help drive demand. So we partnered with Bank of California, and we were able to donate $10 for every single Dine LA reservation last year. That was another $100,000 for relief efforts. And through partnerships with the American Red Cross, California Fire Foundation, Kind Traveler, and Change Reaction, I'm really proud of the fact that our industry has been able to raise over $1 million for relief efforts.
That is really amazing. What about for locals who want to help? Is it just doing staycations? LA is such a beautiful place. Is that how we can support?
There are so many ways. I think the first thing is people need to remember this is going to be a long-term commitment to those communities where we're affected. So there are hands-on ways you can volunteer. I'm actually going to be taking a group of our team members today to work with the Red Cross on a volunteer project for wildfire relief. But if you want to go to either LA Works or CORE, they have listings every single week of a way that Angelenos can roll up their sleeves and really help those in need. But beyond that, the city of LA launched a great program called LA is Open, and it's exactly what you were saying, Sheba. It's reminding both visitors and residents alike the best way you can help is to shop local, stay local, dine local. Dine local, we've got Dine LA coming up again around the corner from January 23rd to February 6th. It's going to be our largest event ever. For 2 weeks, we have over 485 participating restaurants. That's how you can help support our local economy and Angelenos who are affected.
That's really amazing. You mentioned restaurant workers, hospitality workers impacted by this. What's beautiful to see is those different parts of the community coming together to help the ones that were directly impacted.
Yeah, that's the thing that I find inspiring. First of all, I'm a transplant. I'm from Chicago originally. I've been an Angeleno for 30 years. I love the way this community shows up for each other. Time and time again, when something's going on, man, we show up. And LA Tourism is actually a nonprofit. We represent over 1,000 local businesses in the tourism space, and no one hesitated. Hotels opened their doors for emergency accommodation for first responders and evacuees. Restaurants and catering companies opened up their kitchens to provide meals. Hundreds of other members were providing clothing, essential supplies. So the way the industry really rallied together, that I think is one of the most inspiring takeaways from last year.
I think so too. And as you look at 1 year later, that is the beautiful thing to see how many people, businesses, organizations came to support and make sure that LA came back stronger. So Adam, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks so much, Sheba.
What I've really seen throughout the morning here at Palisades Garden Cafe is how important businesses are to the community. They're a gathering place. We've had so many people come in to share stories. And in this week's Java with Jamie, I sat down with Robert Flutie, who owned Flower Pizzeria here in the Palisades. It unfortunately burned down, but he does have a message of hope. Take a listen.
Robert Flutie loves to get in the kitchen of Flower Pizza almost as much as he loves pizza itself.
All right, this is it.
And when it tastes this good, you get it.
You have on your signs, pizza is love.
Pizza is love.
Where'd you come up with that?
But as a kid growing up in New York, my fondest memories are sitting in a pizza parlor with my best friends, who today are still my best friends, and just talking about life. And some 50 years later, as I sit and I reflect on that, that is nothing but love, right?
That idea of love and community came with Flutie when he moved to the Palisades in 2003. But when he went on a quest to find a good slice, he came up empty.
Everyone said to me, no one in LA eats pizza by the slice. I lived in the Palisades. I've been there for 20 years and was in the media business. And sometime around the start to the middle of COVID, I decided I wanted to open a pizza slice shop because I wanted to bring authentic New York-style pizza to Los Angeles.
He found an old coffee shop across the street from a school and took a chance in 2023.
We became, a community pillar. All the people that I coached in baseball and AYSO became our customers, and they were starting to get married and have children of their own, so we were having pizza parties for their kids.
Then came the fires last January, where Flutie lost his business and his home.
I was in India at the time and watched 20 years of, community building literally go up in flames. And in addition to the house going and being burned, the pizzeria, Flower Pizza on Via de la Paz, also transformed.
Transformed. This is what I love about you. It wasn't destroyed, it was transformed.
I don't use the word lost. Loss really kind of puts you in a mindset of despair. And I love the adage, out of all things, some good shall come.
With his second flower store in Brentwood already in the works, Flutie put all his efforts into getting it open. He hoped those displaced from the Palisades would find some comfort.
Although we were planning on opening here, the way that things unfolded for us because of the fire, the attention we got in the news, the support of the community, who many of which moved to this area, gave us probably an accelerated level of business building.
What happened next was anyone's guess.
All right, pizza review time.
The pièce de résistance was when Dave Portnoy came in.
And I swear I've heard about this place, Flower Pizzeria.
If anyone's wondering whether or not 5 million followers on Instagram can impact the business, I'm here to tell you it had a very profound, positive impact.
It looks very good.
Portnoy, the host of the successful podcast Barstool Sports, taste tests pizza while traveling and made his way to the Brentwood store last May.
Very good.
He released his review on June 3rd. Within an hour of that posting, we had a line out the door.
You're kidding.
And our business has been up 300% since then.
While the Brentwood business keeps growing, Flutie wants to get back to the Palisades. But it's had its challenges.
Well, we have been looking at various spaces.
So you're not going to be in the same space you were?
No, we're not going to be in the same space. There's a space not far from there on Via de la Paz that we've been in negotiations on that could be a really amazing space for us. But ultimately, I want to be close to the schools because I think that ideally that's what it is that got me in this.
And it won't stop with the Palisades. Flutie's hoping to reinvent the pizza concept and open thousands of by-the-slice stores across the country.
If people are watching and they've seen the fire coverage and they've seen what's happened to the Palisades, what do you want people to know?
This too shall pass. You got to take bite-sized pieces by being patient and kind and loving and caring to yourself is key. None of that was in any of our control. And just have faith that it's going to be better, because it is.
I just love his attitude. I also love his pizza. I ended up having 3 slices while I was there, so it's supposed to be a by the slice, but I tripled that that day. If you can't make it to Brentwood and you still want to be able to support the Flower Pizzeria business, they actually just started serving their pizza at the Laugh Factory, which I love because the Laugh Factory is also a place that does so much for the community and raises money and puts it back in to nonprofits and hosts those wonderful holiday meals and things like that. So kind of a full circle moment, Sheba.
I absolutely love every bit of it, Jamie. And you know what? I think he spoke about faith there at the end, and that is the takeaway from today, that for people who've been through so much loss and trauma, faith is what has carried them through, that things are eventually going to be okay, especially with the people I've spoken with here today. I think all of our conversations started off positive because 1 year has passed, and I am proud of how hopeful these people are, how much they're looking forward to rebuilding despite all that they've been through and all of the hurdles they face in trying to rebuild. So I think to do them justice, we also have to honor how hard this has been for them and recognize that they will never fully get over the loss and the trauma of everything they endured 1 year ago, but that we will be with them every step of this journey as it continues. And for many people, this is going to continue for many years.
Yes, I love that we are a station that says CBS LA cares. We truly do care. I've given hugs. I've been given hugs this morning. There is still so much work to do. I think my concern in talking to people is that this has been so tough. It's been a long year and a short year at the same time. They're not, everyone I said, are you taking care of yourself? And they said, well, not yet. So, you know, we need to remember, those of us not directly impacted, that they are still going through it. The second year of grief is often so much harder than the first. So we do want to be with them. We want to continue to tell their stories. We want to be there every step of the way. And I'm so honored to have been here this morning, Sheba. I'm sure you are as well, where you're at.
Absolutely, yes. It has been an honor to share their stories, and so many of them thanked us for continuing to keep the attention on them and share their stories, and you can be sure that we here at CBS LA will continue to do that. It has been an honor to tell your stories today. Thank you for watching CBS LA at 9.